I'm Christina Story, and I'm here with Diego Martinez, who is running for governor for 2022. We know that this video is usually played on Thursday mornings, but we have decided for the convenience of us and everyone else that we would change that to now Wednesday nights at 7:30. So keep that in mind going forward. We're going to be doing these live videos of the Q&As on Wednesday nights at 7:30. And for those who like the Spanish ones, those ones will be again Wednesday nights at 7 p.m. So that is the new schedule. We have a lot to kind of catch up on. It's, I know, good for me to be back here. I've missed everybody and doing these videos with Diego. So thanks for having me, and let's kind of dive right in. For those who have missed any of the videos that have been going on, that you guys can find those on the Facebook page after this live video and go check those ones out, as well as follow us on all our social media platforms, including Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. And you can always check out the Diego Martinez for Governor on the website. So, Diego, how's everything been going with you?
Well, let's start off. First of all, last week, guys, we had the major fires going on, so
Yes.
we actually didn't have a program last week because of the fires, and we felt that everybody's safety was more important than us doing a video. Want to thank everybody out in Lakeport, Lake County, that showed up last Saturday, even though we canceled our meet and greet and the rally. A lot of people still showed up, showed support for the GOP out in Lake County. And we appreciate everybody showing up, and the people that were out there with their boats and did their small boat rally. Thank you very much. We also want to make sure that everybody's safe. Because of the fires and all the conditions that are going on right now, I encourage everybody who is involved or is suffering or still not back at home. There are resources and places in your counties right now that are having basically places where you can go get in your essential needs, whether it's clothes, whether it's hygiene stuff, whether
Yes.
it's water, a little bit of food available.
Shelters for those. I know, like, look, you guys can always check in your, like, within your local counties for those shelter in places for those who got evacuated. They do bring these shelter resources, and you guys can go get there and get all those supplies that you need, as well as donate to them. You know, we are also still taking donations to help with those fires who have been victims of the fires. So if you guys would like to give some donations, you guys can always message us, and we can always follow up and meet and take those donations so we can go give them to those that are in need.
Our website, our Facebook page has some of the stuff that's still needed out there. So if you weren't affected and you can help the people that were out there, please let us know. We'll actually have set up places where you can drop off the stuff or we can pick it up. Because right now it's a time of need. It's a time that we help our fellow neighbor. Right now it's a time that it shouldn't matter what political side we are. We're all Californians, we're all human beings, and we all need a little bit of help. It's a tragic time for where our state is with all these wildfires. And that brings us to a lot of the stuff that we're running on, bringing more industry into California, bringing the lumber industry back into California, which, if we look at that industry by itself, would have prevented the damage.
Yes.
Not that the fire wouldn't have started, not that we wouldn't have wildfires, but it would prevent it from spreading as much, because the lumber industry, one thing that they do is help clean our forests and our areas.
Thin them out and sure.
Then you have roads where the fire trucks could go and the emergency crews could get there. So for us, it's very important that we bring industry back into California. One is to help out with the wildfires that's going on. Two, it creates better employment and better job opportunity and better wages.
Which is what you're all about, is bringing jobs back to California, which it all just kind of circles back to each other. Funny how that works, right?
Right, so we don't want to see anybody take a pay cut. We heard that our firefighters just got a 7.5% pay cut, and they're out there in the midst of this. So we need to figure out how to make this work and work better for everybody. So bringing industry back to California is very important for us. That's just one of the industries that we like to do.
Keeping everyone safe and those structures and everybody's home. You know, the fires are such a critical time for everybody, and kind of like touching on what Diego said, by, you know, everybody come together. It doesn't matter about politics or what side you lie on, but either it has affected you, somebody you know, or somebody you know that knows somebody, or a family member, friend. And I will say that in like the light of this darkness when it comes to fires, I have never seen more communities and people come together like they do when it comes to fires. You know, there's people who take their vehicles and trailers and load it up with livestock and animals and help those just get everybody to safety. And that's what we all need to remember, is that if you can and you are capable and have the means to help and lend a hand, just get out there and help those who are affected, whether it's just donating your time or helping in any way you can. You know, it's such a dark time, and we need to all come together for that and help each other out. And no help, no deed is too big or too small. It all just makes a difference.
One of the things that you notice when you do this is the humanity in all this.
Yes.
Forget about party lines, forget about anything. We're all humans, we're all out here, we're all trying to help each other. So when you see that, you know that California can get united. You know that California can get united for a better future. Exactly. So those are all positive things. So we'd like to thank everybody who has volunteered and has gone out there and helped. We'd like to also thank the places where donations were dropped off and people are able to get to them. So let's get on to today's kind of subjects a little bit here. We're going to talk about where we're going to be at in a couple of weeks. And then we're going to come back and we're going to talk about the DACA program a little bit and what the changes are. I know a lot of you guys aren't affected on it, but a lot of people here are, and it's just good to be informed on what's going on. Immigration laws are changing also, so we're going to touch a little bit on that today. We'll talk about voting by mail. We're also going to talk about schools and what's going on. And there's also a recall still going on.
And yes, the recall still going on.
So where do you want to start?
Okay, let's just kind of get the big one out of the way. Let's go for the schools.
Okay.
I want to talk about the schools, and this is something important. You know, it has affected my family, my friends, family members, other people I know, and almost everybody. So if you guys have school-age children, majority of them are all doing this distance learning. Well, we are now in week 2 of doing this. And it is a catastrophe for us. It's not organized for us, trying to get all of our working parents' schedule aligned and have our child sit down in front of a computer, figuring out these Zoom meetings and student emails in their classrooms, and just have to also, every Zoom meeting is all a different ID number, trying to keep up with that. The kids are pushing buttons on the laptops, trying to control that. It is crazy and chaotic for us. I mean, we're all just, like myself and others, are just trying to navigate through this and kind of figure it out as we go along. You know, we're not really getting much instruction from the teachers, or you have to keep checking these emails, and, you know, my daughter's so quick to slam the computer. Okay, bye. Wait, what just happened? Like, are we coming back on here? You know, the schedules aren't consistent, and it is frustrating. But then I'm reading that schools, and I know in our county, are starting to talk about opening up, or are opening up, but our school is not. And then the question is, well, why?
Well, and you hit a lot of points there.
Yes.
And you talked about a lot of stuff, and I'm sure a lot of our viewers, a lot of people out there share your frustration. One of the things that I propose is, why aren't we teaching outside? You can eat outside, you can do everything else outside. Why aren't we having the basic 4 classes outside? Why can't the schools set up a PA system, have the teachers that feel healthy and safe? Because that's what all this is about, is keeping everybody healthy, keeping everybody safe, whether it's the student or the teacher. If your school could be open outside, you could have the 4 major classes, so that's the morning portion of your day, where kids could have history, math, science, and English combined. You might combine more classes together, but you have the teachers that feel safe, one teacher instructing and other teachers walking around and being able to help the students. Like, let's say all the 3rd graders go to math at the same time. All the 4th graders then go, and then you shift them through the classes, and you shift them outside, or even in the school gym, if you have the fans going, where the air can blow and they can breathe, and maybe the door's open. A PA system so the teachers can be heard in the back, and the other teachers can walk around and help. Now, there's a lot of teachers out there that don't feel safe. They feel they're up in age, they're getting ready to retire, they really don't want to take a risk with all this. I get it, and I'm not saying for you to go to work. What I'm saying is, those teachers, and there's parents, so we're going to go both ways here. There's also parents that don't feel their kids are safe going back to an open environment like that. So for those teachers and those parents, it works great. You can also keep doing your Zoom meetings, but then you'd have a smaller Zoom meeting.
Yeah, so it's a little more manageable to kind of handle the classes that are online, and teachers don't feel so overwhelmed and have to divide things.
And the kids could pay a little bit more attention and maybe not just have an hour on a Zoom meeting, but maybe a little bit longer. Maybe take a break and come back and teach the next subject. So then that relieves some of the pressure on the parents. But our kids are also getting a more one-on-one instruction. Now, just imagine them going to school, having 2 or 3 teachers per class that can walk around and help a kid that needs help. Help one of our kids. Our education is very important because our education is our future. Our kids are our future. But one thing that I've heard that we have as parents have to keep a better eye on what our kids are getting taught at school right now.
I want to touch on that too. I mean, my daughter is younger, so I don't have to deal with a lot of the different topics of like science or chemistry or history with my little one, but I have heard from other parents who have experienced that their teachers instructing the kids to talk about what is happening in the world of not only just COVID, but politics.
Well, I think politics should stay out of schools. And I think we have to go back to an era where we teach the credentials that the school is supposed to be teaching, not our political views, because our kids are too young to even think about which political views to go. And that's something we should all have a choice. We shouldn't get taught. So I think we keep politics out of schools.
Agreed.
And, you know, let's talk about voting a little bit. Let's go ahead and keep moving the conversation along today. We've been hearing a lot of both sides of the presidency talk about mail-in ballots, if this is going to happen, if that's going to happen. I'm still a firm believer of this. Get your ballot if you get it at home. They're actually opening up ballot places. They're just limited them to where they're doing them now. So there's not going to be as many as before. So let's find out where each ballot place is at. Okay. Let's bring your ballot at home. Let's go on our computers. Let's look at every proposition. We talked a little bit about Proposition 25. We talked a little bit about Proposition 22. We've talked about 19.
13.
And 13. We've talked about a lot of propositions. You can go back on our Facebook and our website and take a look at where we stand on most of them. And you can make up your own decisions, and we can say why we stand behind what we believe.
Exactly.
You know, but get your mail-in ballots. Do all the research that you need. Take the time that you need. But drop it off. Do not put it in the mail. I'm not saying anything against the Postal Service. No. I'm not saying that they're not doing their jobs. What I'm saying is, as a voter, and this is a time when our vote counts more than ever before, we are in a middle of, we're either going to be a socialism or a capitalism. And that's how important our vote is right now. So what I tell everybody, grab your mail-in ballot. Drop it off at a voting place. Yes. Drop it off in their boxes. They're secure. You should be able to go there and drop it off, and you can also do a tracking number. The reason I say this is because if you look when you get your ballot in the mail, depending what the serial code on the bottom says, if it has a D, you're a Democrat, if it has an R, you're a Republican, if it has an independent or a no party choice, it'll say that on the front. They have it encrypted. So if there was some kind of form of misunderstanding with the voting.
Conspiracy, I think is the word.
If people want to call it that, I don't really think that's really happening. But if there was, that's how they're going to identify you. They don't have to look at who you voted for. No. They just look at the front of your voting and whatever happens then.
And that way, not only taking it in person and getting that tracking number, but you don't run into that risk of, oops, I lost it, or oops, it never made it there. You can always track it and make sure it does follow through to the proper destination that it needs to go to. You know, when you go to on your way to the grocery store, make a trip on your way to town just to make that extra stop, because that extra stop and your time is going to make a world of a difference.
All this is set up basically so your vote counts, because right now all our votes count on everything that we're doing. If you don't believe so, look at the way we've been electing our officials, our county officials, our local officials, yes, our government in California right now, and the people, the assembly people that are representing us. So right now it's very important that we count every vote and that our votes count. So get the tracking number, follow it through, make sure everything's okay. So we're also going to discuss today, there is a recall still going on.
Yes.
If you feel the need that our governor right now isn't doing the job properly like you feel he should be, or because of school closures, or because some of the laws that he's passing that don't make sense, it's a good time to get with your local community, find out where the recall is, and let's get it signed if you're going to get it done. Because right now, if you're on board with the recall, you need to do a great push to get out there and get it done.
Yes.
We need 2 million signatures is what they say for the recall. So if you're out there and you're thinking, hey, we need to get this guy recalled, we need to take a better look at him, get out there, get your friends out there, get your family members out there to sign the recall, because it's that important that if you feel it's that important, that it needs to happen.
Agreed.
Okay.
I mean, we feel it's important. We've signed it, so we urge those who do see the same way and want change. The only way change is going to happen is if you also get out there and you help make the difference.
Our voices count, and it's time that they start counting.
Agreed.
So for the people who are on DACA that listen to our program, I appreciate your support. Real quick, if you filed your paperwork by June 28th or July 28th, DACA's not accepting any new applications right now. So if your paperwork got done, filed after July 28th, they will send your application back and they will send your money back. So you got to be careful with dates like that, especially, and DACA's not taking anybody in new right now. So if you're in that program, make sure you watch your guidelines. Also, if you're in the middle of doing all your immigration paperwork, October 2nd, immigration fees go up.
Yes.
So if you're in the process of doing it, just like I was when I did it, we made sure that we got everything in on time. Right now, it's one of those things. Make sure that your application gets in by October 2nd. It has to be in Sacramento, not mailed out on the 1st, not post-dated on October 2nd. It actually has to get there by October 2nd to keep the fees where they're at. If not, they're going to return your stuff, and basically you got to start over. And that is a lengthy and long process. And I know that if you're going through it, you really don't want to deal with it.
Yeah.
It's tough enough doing it the first time, but imagine doing 2 or 3 times. So
yeah, no. I mean, it's just always better to make sure that you have all the dates that you need marked on a calendar, set some reminders, try to get it out a couple days prior to that deadline if possible, so you don't run into that risk of having to restart and pay those extra fees. You know, everybody's already trying to come back up from everything happening and trying to make it here. So let's just remind everybody to check those dates, set a reminder, and get those forms in properly on the deadline.
And like everybody knows, I'm running on fixing the homeless problem here in California.
Yes.
This next weekend, we're actually going to be out in the Fresno area. We're going to be working with an organization. I'm going to be out talking to the homeless people and finding out what their needs are, because not everybody has the same needs as homeless. Some of the people that I've talked to are actually just people who fell on bad times, couldn't find another job. There was nowhere, so they lost their address, so they couldn't get a job. So it's going to be interesting what their interests are and how we can help them. So we're going to do that this Saturday. I'm going to be in Fresno.
That's good.
We're going to be doing that on the 29th, sorry. We're also going to be September 5th. I am going to be in Madera.
Yes, over there we're going to be doing another rally. So if you guys are in Madera area or surrounding areas and would like to come join that rally, stay tuned for some of the details to follow up on the Facebook and social media platforms on more information and times and location for the September 5th. But just kind of have that in your minds and on your calendars for September 5th for the rally near Madera.
Right, and don't forget, boots on the ground,
Yes.
United for Freedom.
And that is September 12th.
And that will be at the Capitol on the west side. It actually starts at 10 to 3. Mm-hmm. And show your support. Go out there. Myself will be out there. Chris Biss will be out there. I know we have a couple other people that are already lining up to be there. The lineup isn't quite all set up, but we'll get that out before the 12th so everybody understands. We want to tell everybody this. Get involved in these rallies. Get involved if you have time to go out there. We're going to be in different counties. We're going to be in different cities. And the reason it's so important is so that people can actually meet the candidates face to face. They can come and talk to me. They can tell me their real concerns, and we can have an actual conversation. And I'm going to encourage you. It doesn't matter on what side you're at. Everybody's welcomed.
Yes.
Because our government got built by working people. It's for the people, by the people, is what it is. And anybody who thinks any different is wrong. When we get elected, we work for Californians. Mm-hmm. We don't work for a Democratic or Republican Party. We work for everybody. Yeah. We don't work for independents. We don't work for this. We work for the full state of California. Sure. And I like to invite everybody. It doesn't matter what your opinions are. I want to hear them, good or bad. Come on out. come talk to us. Come meet us. Come hear our point of view, because I'm happy to listen to yours and figure out how we can come to a happy medium, because that's what's going to take to make California great again, to make California a better state. We have to make a change. We have to be united, and we have got to get out there and let our voices be heard, because what is going on right now has got to stop. $75 billion in debt is what California is right now. $75 billion, and it's growing every month because our businesses are shut down. Now, remember this, for our businesses to be open and 100%, because I just got told that some businesses are coming off the watch list.
Yes.
Now they have to wait another 2 weeks.
Yes.
When we open our business, our main focus is that people are safe
And healthy.
and we're not spreading the virus around.
Correct.
So wear your mask, be safe out there. Make sure that you're not helping yourself, but you're helping the other people around you. That being said, if you see somebody who's not wearing a mask, let's not make a big deal about it. It is their right also not to wear a mask.
Do your due diligence, wear yours, stay your 6 feet apart, but there's no need to cause a conflict. Everybody has their own opinion, everybody has their own right. But what we can do is respect others, and you can respect the fact that you are taking your own precautions for your own safety, regardless of your feelings towards whoever is not wearing the mask. You are doing all that you can do. And I just feel like that's really important. I've seen a lot of conflicts in grocery stores over it, and it's just like, there's no reason for it. You stay your 6 feet, you're wearing a mask, you're protected yourself. You know, there's no reason to cause a conflict and a huge scene and make everyone around you feel uncomfortable.
It's be respectful to everybody. That's our message.
Yes.
We believe that everybody should feel safe. Everybody should feel the right to be able to express the way they are, because that's what the United States is. But let's keep it peaceful. We don't need to cause a conflict. I don't know if anybody's right or wrong. What I'm saying is, let's keep it peaceful out there. Let's take care of each other, especially with what's going on right now with so many people losing their house and all these fires going on. Our thoughts and prayers go out to all those people. I appreciate you guys joining us on a Wednesday night. We'll be back
Next Wednesday night. So if you guys are seeing this video or see it after it's posted, come back and see us next Wednesday, and we'll have more topics to cover as every week keeps changing for us.
And keep your questions coming in, guys.
Yes.
I know it's been kind of like a slow week, so that's why the program was like this today. Let's get us back on track. Hopefully you guys get back home and are safe, and we could get some more of the real questions, so we could get down to the real nitty-gritty of why we're running for office and where we stand, so everybody gets a better feel for us. My name is Diego Martinez. I am the candidate for governor in 2022.
And I'm Christina Story, and don't forget to follow us on all our social media platforms. We'll see you guys next week.